The Sun Devils come in with a very challenging matchup zone defense. Coach Lorenzo Romar talks about having just one day to prepare for ASU.
Well, I think it makes it tough in your preparation. Sometimes you can play two teams that have similar styles, and you can prepare for both without mentioning the other's name throughout the week. With Arizona and Arizona State, such a contrast in styles defensively, all man versus all zone. And either way, you're going to have a day to prepare for one or the other. Washington State will have a day to prepare for Arizona. We have a day to prepare for Arizona State. So it makes it a little more difficult. It helps in the second round because you've already prepared for them one time before in the first half.
Arizona State allows just 58 points per game. That's 7th best in the nation. They held the Huskies to their lowest point total of the year on January 8th, just 51. That's 30 under their average. Well, tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Oberto Beef Jerky for Arizona State. Boateng's the big mine. But look at all the guards. Glasser will get the start over Kuksix, who had 27 in their last game, a win in Tempe. The point guard, Jamel McMillan. The coach, Herb Sendek, is 4 wins shy of leading Arizona State to their 3rd straight 20-win season. That hasn't happened in over 40 years. The Husky 5 he'll see start tonight. Quincy Pondexter, he knows he's got to defend him. And this lineup brought to you by Oberto Beef Jerky. Pondexter, the leading candidate for Pac-10 Player of the Year. Gaddy is the point guard. Isaiah Thomas, coming off a subpar game on Thursday, averages 17 per game. And Washington's coach, Lorenzo Romar, 5 wins shy of his 4th 20-win season at Washington. The Huskies won the Pac-10 regular season title last year with 26 victories, but that was with guys like John Brockman and Justin Detman, 2 excellent seniors.
Now, interesting lineup change for Herb Sendek. The one thing that this lineup gives him, Steve, is added quickness, and they're going to pack in this 2-3, 3-2, 1-3-1. It morphs into all kinds of different types of zone alignments, but it's a matchup zone. But he believes that Ty Abbott, he talked about it, 9 rebounds a game over the last 4 games, can rebound strongly enough to get by without the 6'8" Rehard Kuksix in the lineup.
Today started with a 4-way tie for first place. California, though, beat UCLA, and Arizona just lost at Washington State, so the Wildcats swept in the Pacific Northwest. Meantime, Arizona State tried to pull a sweep in the Northwest and tie Cal for first. Basketball's controlled by Jamel McMillan. As you can see, Arizona State in the dark uniforms and Washington in the purple and gold. This is Trent Lockett, the talented freshman, taking it in and getting fouled. Our officials are Kevin Brill, Greg Nixon, and Tom Spitznagel.
Trent Lockett has done a nice job this season. The young man, the freshman out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, Hopkins High School, very athletic player, pretty good mid-range jump shot, especially off of one dribble. Had a lot of success early, but as young players often find out, once teams kind of get a scouting report on your book on you, he hasn't had the same shot opportunities as he had at the start of the season.
Trent has also thrived since they went to that motion offense. His scoring average is now in double figures. 3.6 GPA as well in the first semester, and the coach loved to hear that.
A Barrett Honor Scholar.
And a good free throw shooter, makes them both. This is Abdul Gaddy. He's the point guard, just turned 18 a week ago. Isaiah Thomas, even at 5 feet 8 inches tall, will work at the off-guard spot.
With the added foot speed defensively for Arizona State, going to be so hard for Washington to penetrate the matchup zone defense, which is one of the keys in terms of attacking it, dribble penetration.
How is their zone defense different than others?
Well, it's a zone defense with some serious man-to-man principles. They really put a lot of pressure. They keep ball pressure because of their man-to-man principles. I mean, always the guy hawking, harassing out there, bothering the ball handler. And they've got some interesting rules, too, and a lot of it is predicated on the wings and how they're playing. Nice job.
Nice feed from Justin Holiday, who just seems to get better every single game, getting it inside of Brashears for the slam.
Listen, that's one of the weaknesses now, especially when you go down in size. Rehard Kuksix at 6'8". The weak side of this zone is going to be awful small with the proper passing and proper spacing by Washington if they can exploit it.
You can see how Washington will go man defense, and they'll really extend the pressure. They force the most turnovers in the conference, 17 per game. But remember this, Arizona State commits the fewest, just over 11.
This is the consummate yin and yang confrontation between these two schools. One likes the fast tempo, one likes a very controlled tempo.
Lockett on the senior Pondexter. He misses his first shot. Rebound controlled by Boateng. He's averaging almost 7 per game.
Gave him a very solid 13 points, 8 rebounds in their win against Washington State on Thursday night. Eric Boateng. Good job, Brashears, to push him off the box just enough to try and negate his effectiveness. There it is.
Jump hook does not go. A scramble for the basketball. It's on the floor. And finally, it is controlled by Washington. They've got a 3-on-2. Isaiah Thomas blocked. Oh, what a block by Ty Abbott.
And you got to respect the athleticism and the shooting ability of Ty Abbott.
Misses his first 3. Pondexter rebounds ahead to Thomas. He takes it right in again and floats it off the glass and good.
Isaiah Thomas shoots more free throw attempts than any man 6 feet or under in the United States of America because he takes it to the hole, takes it strong, looks to draw contact.
What about the Pasadena Boys and Girls Club? Don't they have a person 5 and 8 others shooting more?
Joe Ford would be happy with his protege. Justin Holiday, Ball Hawkins, Jamel McMillan out top.
Down low, Eric Boateng, and he again tries the hook, misses badly. Thomas with the rebound.
Good job, Brashears, using the body, just enough body to throw him off balance.
He's quick. A little stutter step move in the lane, and goodbye to the defense.
Well, you get that zone in transition, you don't give it time to set up. Right here, a little stutter, a little smile, little take. And I think that's part of that new rule, the restricted area that they use in the NBA. I thought Trent Lockett was there, but I thought a piece of his body was underneath the rim, which means now you're not going to get that offensive foul call, that charge call. You're going to get a blocking call or a no call.
Marcus, I was watching Isaiah during warmups, and his jaw was set. He did not play well on Thursday. They didn't start him in the second half, but he's come out well to open this contest.
Well, I liked his attitude afterwards. Instead of being petulant, instead of pouting, he talked about, hey, if I'm not doing the job that Coach Romar wants me to do, he's going to find someone else who's doing the job. And that's what happened in the second half of the game against Arizona.
They moved the ball on offense better against the Wildcats and erased a 6-point deficit and won by 6. Taylor Rhodey in the game now. He is a 6'8 sophomore from Phoenix Pinnacle. And Washington comes up with the basketball, and a foul will be called against ASU, who has just 2 points early in this contest.
Now, Taylor Rhodey talked about playing against Jeff Pendergraft in practice every day last year, how it made him a tougher player. He's got to be tougher with the basketball. He's got to pretend Pendergraft is defending him from the backside and really be tough with the ball. At that time, just way too careless.
Pondexter's taken 1 shot. Isaiah misses the 3. There's Quincy battling for it. Instead, it will go out of bounds to the Sun Devils.
And because of Arizona State's propensity to pack it in terms of that matchup zone defense, forcing Washington, one of their weaknesses as a 3-point shooting team, forcing it to shoot jump shots. The skip pass over the top will lead to some open looks, but you've got to knock some of those down to be successful against this zone of Arizona State.
The crowd going crazy because one of the best 6 men in the game is coming to the contest. That's Benoit Overton. Ty Abbott, no good. Jamel McMillan tries to save it. Overton with the steal. And Benoit with the drive. Yes!
He's amphibious by nature. A lefty that loves to use the right hand when he's going into the paint, attacking the rack.
An 8-0 run by Washington.
He has just got tremendous speed, game-changing speed. Benoit Overton with the basketball in his hands does an outstanding job using that right hand whenever he's in the painted area to finish.
Every game in the Pac-10 is final except for this one as you see UCLA losing at home to Cal. Oregon is stopped by Oregon State, so the Beavers get the sweep of the Ducks this year. Stanford loses by 5 at USC, and Arizona, that's one that hurts because the Wildcats come to the Northwest, tied for first place, and now they are going to be 2 games back.
And that is a tough loss for Sean Miller's crew, and you have to believe that the youth of that basketball team learned a brutal lesson on this particular road trip.
There is Vinoy Overton. He is the junior from Seattle Franklin High School that produced some great guards in the past, like Jason Terry and Aaron Brooks, and he has that kind of speed.
And so far, all of Washington's points have been points in the painted area.
Glasser trying to accept the foul. No foul call, and Derek almost threw it away.
A lot of bad blood between these two, Vinoy Overton and Derek Glasser.
Arizona State still has not scored a field goal. They've scored on 2 Lockett free throws, and that's it. Holiday down low. Matthew Bryan Ammoning. Pondexter, great offensive rebounder, has it knocked away, but they get it to Thomas.
I love the activity of Ty Abbott in this zone defense. His arms and hands are just all over the place. Deflections, stepping in with his body, blocking shots. He's got 2 already in this game.
Ammoning with the left hand, no. Finally, Boateng grabs the rebound. Arizona State Keys take care of the basketball. Lockett lays it up and in.
Nice back cut, Trent Lockett. Nice read. He saw that Quincy Pondexter was overplaying him. Ball side, did a nice job, and a nice defense. Trent Lockett at the other end. Too careless on the pass from Justin Holiday.
He had a wonderful start in December, then almost hit the freshman wall and had some down games, but now back in the starting lineup when he came off the bench and contributed so well early in the conference season. Glasser, no. And Derek thought he got fouled, turned and looked at the official. Here's Vinoy Overton, no.
A good hustle in transition by Ty Abbott, just enough to make Vinoy Overton have to double clutch and miss that layup.
We still have not seen Rahards Kuksix, who scored 27 points in Arizona State's win at Tempe. We talked with Doug Tamaro, their SID, and he said just coach's decision, like the matchups better with the lineup. And a travel by Trent Lockett.
Washington doing a nice job getting out in transition here early. That's one way. How do you beat a matchup zone? You run it down the floor and force it down their throats. The Huskies doing a great job of that so far. Isaiah Thomas pointing, probing, little shake, little contact, knocks it down. But Overton, one of the best on-ball defenders in the country right here, and does a great job with his amphibious right hand.
Hoops presented by Oberto Beef Jerky, and Arizona State a half game back at California for first place. They trail by 4, but we have 2 of the top assist and field goal leaders in the court in this game. Landry Fields of Stanford leads at 23 points per game, but there you see Glasser, who's the top assist man in the conference, and his buddy Boateng shooting 65%, yet he is 0 for his first 2, and Arizona State's first 11 possessions, 1 for 8, 2 free throws, and 2 turnovers.
So the Huskies doing a nice job, especially Tyrese Brashear's bumping Boateng off the block.
We do have a Kuksix sighting. He is in the game now after not starting. Here is Pondexter trying to scramble for the rebound, and he is knocked down. No foul called. It will be Husky basketball.
You mentioned Rehard Kuksix, 27 points, 9 rebounds in the 17-point win down in Tempe. Had just 1 rebound against Washington State on Thursday night. Coach Herb Sendek wants him to concentrate more on rebounding, and I guess until he does that, he's going to limit his minutes.
Scott Suggs also in the game, a good 3-shooter for the Huskies. So they go with Thomas and Overton in the backcourt, and Brashears, Pondexter, and Suggs in the front line. It looked like Brashears may have set an illegal screen. That's his 2nd personal foul.
Tyrese Brashears did a nice job the other night, just sealing, getting great position offensively inside.
We've gone almost 7 minutes, and the only man to score for Arizona State is the guy with the ball, Trent Lockett. Jared Shipp now in the game. Trent. They go low. This is Boateng against Brashears, trying to get that 3rd foul. It is a walk.
Doing good job by Tyrese Brashears, 6'7", 255 pounds.
And Jamel McMillan, who's standing right next to Brashears, was talking with Boateng and said, no, take it straight up. Don't try and go around him.
You get a 10-second count. You try and go around him, not just 3. He's so wide. You wind up in Saskatchewan.
Thomas has it knocked away, and there's Pondexter. Man, he's been a fierce offensive rebounder early in this game.
Yeah, I love Quincy Pondexter's motor. He's the guy that just continues to play hard and figures out ways to help his basketball team, whether it's knocking down mid-range jump shots, steals in transition, this time just pursuing the ball off the offensive glass.
A lot of people thought that Thursday's game was the 2 leading candidates for Pac-10 Player of the Year, Nick Wise of Arizona and Quincy Pondexter of Washington, and Quincy clearly outplayed Nick in the Husky victory.
Yeah, but I got to throw Landry Fields, even though his team is struggling. He's had 3 straight 30-plus games. You know, you just got to throw his name into the conversation, yeah. But because of the way they've struggled, probably won't win the award. Washington's got to move the ball, move their bodies.
Elston Turner.
Get that defense shifted to the left side of the floor. And we're going to get some mediation by the officials between Kuksik and Pondexter. There's Kuksik right there trying to do a better job of blocking out, trying to really concentrate on Quincy Pondexter. A little extracurricular activity between the two. Not a whole lot to speak of, but good job by the officials of staying on top of it to prevent future damage.
There is Pondexter, the senior from Fresno, California. He's averaging almost 21 points per game. There's a double foul call on each of those players.
So you'd figure that Arizona State gets the best of that.
Oh, yeah. Overton got too physical with Jamel McMillan. We've said this before. The Huskies are the most difficult team to officiate in the Pac-10 conference.
Yeah, pull up a chair. get the slippers out. It's going to be a long night when you're going against the Huskies and Vanoy Overton in particular. But Jamel McMillan from O'Day High School here in Seattle, one of the most successful high school players in Seattle high school history. He told me, he's used to these guys. He's used to the antics. He's used to the physical, aggressive style of play. They're trying to get into his head. And I just don't think he's going to be affected majorly by this style of play.
Pondexter now defending Jamel. Ty Abbott has not scored and still has not.
Good defense by Elston Turner.
ASU's done a nice job on Pondexter early, but it has allowed his teammates to get wide open like Scott Suggs.
In the process of doing a nice job on Pondexter, you're absolutely right. So now they've got a couple of guys being aware of Quincy Pondexter in their practice that we saw yesterday. They had one of their players, Taylor Rhodey, I believe it was, to put on a gray jersey. He was Pondexter. They had Pondexter awareness, but you've got to find and tag Scott Suggs, who is a tremendous standstill jump shooter.
Hey fans, this February, America's sport comes home as NASCAR goes back to its roots with racing like it's meant to be, and it all starts with the Great American Race. The 2010 season of NASCAR on Fox begins February 14th with the Daytona 500.
You're about to say something before you were pointing at me.
I was going to ask you, we talked to Lorenzo Romar yesterday, and we said, what's number one? And he said, we want our team to be aggressive yet patient. And early, we've seen that in their offense.
Yeah, kind of an oxymoron. Aggressive patience is what he's looking for. You know, talked about if you're too much one of the other, then it becomes counterproductive. But so far, they've worked that to perfection.
Yeah, we asked him how to attack the zone, and he said, well, first let me say in theory, because they held us to 51 in Tempe.
Right. 17 first down points.
Kuksik hits his first shot.
Yeah, and that's why he is so valuable to have on the floor at this point, because you're having such a tough time. He's the first guy outside of Trent Lockett, the freshman, to score a field goal. And with Ty Abbott receiving the kind of defensive attention that he's receiving in this game, much like Scott Suggs was open because of Quincy Pondexter's presence, Richard Kuksik will get some open looks because of the presence of Ty Abbott and how well he's played.
And Quincy gets his first break. They've got Matthew Bryan Ammoning in the game with Holiday, Turner, Overton. Or they can go 10 deep. Washington, a very deep basketball team.
And particularly tough when they've got the two shooters on the floor, Suggs and Turner. They can really stretch out. Your defense will open up things on the inside.
Bad pass by Holiday, gets the ball back, still fighting for it, and in the scramble, it will be a held ball situation. It still will be Washington basketball when we come back.
Many of our current challenges are unprecedented. We need your daring, We need your enthusiasm. We need your energy. We need your imagination. With a degree from this outstanding institution, you have everything you need to get started. You have no excuses not to change the world.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
I think if you look at the history of our program, we've had really good groups of basketball players. So for coaches, it becomes our job to win and win again.
Having them on our home court, you always want to do well. It's what college basketball is all about. It's what drives you through those hard practices. It's what makes February such a great month in college basketball because there's so much at stake.
For your help.
Lorenzo Romar and I played together for the Milwaukee Bucks back in the early 80s, and I knew the boy was going to be a coach back then because he was always orchestrating, Steve, always orchestrating. Check him out.
Just keep doing that. No, not do-do-do, just do-do. Not do-do-do-do. Okay, do-do-do. Keep doing it. People get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is space to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just get on.
What is that, the Greyhound Quartet?
Yeah, well,
he's coaching the choir.
Instead of the barbershop quartet, but yeah, he really did a great job for us of just keeping things loose. Nice job.
Well, his guard, Benoit Overton, comes in and immediately scores to push Washington's lead back to 10.
And the Huskies have come out with the kind of passion, the kind of intensity, the defensive effort that you usually associate with Arizona State. Nelson Turner, this kid is a great shooter, not supposed to be a great defensive player, but comes up with the poke and the steal.
Some sweet defensive music, although Holiday's there to pick him up and finish.
Pick him up indeed. Scott Suggs gets the loose ball, doesn't finish on the layup attempt, but as you're supposed to always do, never assume the shot's going to be made.
Trent Lockett has it blocked by Matthew Bryant Ammoning, and a whistle. Is there a foul on Lockett because he jumped almost on the back of Matthew Bryant Ammoning? It's a foul on Lockett.
There's two great defensive sequences by the Huskies right here. Elston Turner pokes in against Rehard Kuksik, knocks it away, and then here's Justin Holiday, as you're supposed to do, run the floor hard, good things happen for you.
Washington has already used 9 players, and Matthew Bryant Ammoning can't score. It goes out of bounds. It is off Washington. It will be Sun Devil basketball.
Entirely different team at home, this Husky basketball team. I mean, even the shots they're missing, they're getting quality shots almost each and every time against the Arizona State zone defense.
Overton on Glasser.
Glasser so adept at retreat, dribble, back it out, and then probe and see what he's got as he penetrates to the basket.
Lockett tried to dump it off to Boateng, but a whistle and a foul prior to, so it should be ASU basketball out on the side.
But Derek Glasser struggled a lot this season. I mean, they're shooting below 30% from the field. Talked to his high school coach, who's now an assistant at Arizona State, Scott Kerr. He thought he'd have a good game against Washington State because he twisted his ankle early in the week. He thought that would deflect some of his concentration from his shooting onto the ankle, and he wound up with 15 points and perfect. But now
A 5-second violation and a turnover on Herb Sendek. You're seeing a different situation. This was a team that held Washington to only 19 points in the entire first half, and they have 18 in the first 10 minutes of this one.
And just look like they're all shook up out here. Ty Abbott not really getting quality looks for himself. Uncharacteristic turnovers. Lax defense.
Scott Suggs with a good look.
Lax defense, especially when you move the ball around. Now you hit the corner. You've got Eric Botain trying to get out there and challenge a jump shot. Way too slow for the quick release of Scott Suggs.
A 15-point lead and another turnover. And look at the effort and emotion from Scott Suggs.
Huskies bouncing around, chest bumping.
This is the kind of defense they played last year when they won 14 Pac-10 games and won their first outright title since 1953. Well, they are #1, forcing 17 turnovers at an average per game. Arizona State with almost as many turnovers, 5, as they do have points with 6. There's a steal by Lockett. And Trent is fouled. I believe it's Benoit Overton. That will be his second.
Yeah, and the Lorenzo Romar is complaining because he thought, you know, he's not in his shooting motion. And that's kind of a break for Arizona State as Trent Lockett getting ready to make a big jump stop to get to the basket. That's what you hear in the background. The fans voicing their displeasure at the call. They have relaxed the rules on continuation in college basketball. And if you've started any semblance of a shooting motion toward the basket, that isn't a shooting motion, it's just an aggressive motion like you're thinking about shooting. These days they give it to you.
Arizona State's made only 2 field goals in the first 10.5 minutes, so they're reloading. They're bringing in Ruslan Pativ, a 7-foot freshman from Moscow. Also coming in Jaron Shipp, Nate McMillan, Ty Abbott back in.
Ruslan Pativ can step out and knock down shots up to about 10, 12 feet. Jaron Shipp has just been here for so long. Herb Sendek kind of his security blanket.
The foul against Arizona State will send, no, it will not be in the act of shooting. Ball out on the side for Washington. They'll have a new shot clock at 35. Huskies beat Arizona 81-75 on Thursday. Arizona State season low for the first half, 16 points in a loss to USC where they scored only 37 points the entire game. Pondexter still has not scored yet. His team leads by 15, and the ball goes out of bounds to the Huskies.
The Grease Pig principle. Just can't get the handle on it. Quincy Pondexter defended nicely by Jaron Shipp that time, but that's where you want the ISO against the matchup zone at the free throw line for Quincy Pondexter.
They're really pushing around Pondexter. Thomas tries to throw it to a teammate down low, and it goes off of Pativ and out of bounds.
And they always talk about penetrating with a plan, and you see the aggressive play of Jaron Shipp just kind of battling inside, locking arms, but Isaiah Thomas has got to penetrate with a plan, penetrate with purpose. That time just jumped in the air with no plan at all.
Suggs in and out for 3, and it is a foul called against Washington. It was a very physical game on Thursday. 56 fouls were called, 71 free throw attempts were taken, and Washington escaped with their 15th win and 5th to even the record at 5-5. So if they win this game, Marcus, they'll be 6-5, just a game back of California, who right now rules the roost.
Kind of ridden the Huskies off for dead a couple of weeks ago, but with the way the Pac-10 is this season, one strong, solid weekend, get you a couple of victories, and you're right back in the mix. Now, Victor Rudd going to be inserted into the game for Herb Sendek. He did a nice job against UCLA earlier in the season. They lost that game. Arizona State did, but the young guys, Rudd, Demetrius Walker, really provided some spark offensively. I wouldn't be surprised to see Walker get the minutes in this game also.
Pondexter. That's his first field goal, his first points.
But conversely, the problem is you got Rudd, the freshman, going against Pondexter, the senior.
Jaron Shipp missing the 3. Pativ tries to tap it to himself. It goes to the hands of Isaiah Thomas. And the little guy down the middle throws it up and in.
Two guys been going at each other for years. Jamel McMillan, Isaiah Thomas. Advantage Thomas on that possession.
He said he loves football. His favorite team, the Denver Broncos, trying to go up the middle and score the touchdown. Well, they had a former football player who came to the basketball team, played pretty well. That was Nate Robinson. And here's your opportunity, fans, to win 2 tickets to the 2010 Pacific Live Pac-10 Men's Basketball Tournament on March 10th through the 13th. To enter, go to pac10.org and click on the entry link. And you'll want to get there because who knows who's going to win. Right now, Stanford is in last place, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won.
There's only one team in the Pac-10 that I know won't win the Pac-10 tournament.
USC,
because they're not going to be there.
Exactly.
Everybody else, I mean, even Oregon State, they're just watching them play at times this season, the way they've played, the close games they've been involved in.
Well, look at the first half trouble that ASU having, and they've already used 3 timeouts. Arizona State led 2-0, and then ASU went off on a 25-4 run.
And the only way you assure yourself of an NCAA tournament bid is to win the Pac-10 tournament. Automatic bid. Ty Abbott's got to get automatic. He's got to get himself going offensively. Within the structure of Herbst Index offense, you just can't dominate the basketball.
This is the most active defense I have seen from Washington this year, even counting California and Stanford when they blew both of those teams out. Quincy Pondexter finally getting his offense going, but they don't need him early because Washington early is running away from ASU. Pac-10 Hoops presented by Oberto Beef Jerky. And we've got a great doubleheader coming for you tomorrow as well, as you see Washington leading by 19. But in women's college play, the #2 team in the nation, Jana Pell, and Stanford taking on USC and Ashley Corral. Now, she on Thursday scored 16 points. Jane on Thursday against UCLA had a 23-13 game, and Stanford only has 1 loss, and that's to the top team in the nation, Connecticut, at 20-1. Stanford 3 games up on UCLA. But USC and Michael Cooper playing well. We understand Washington State finally won today.
See what kind of defense Michael Cooper can come up with to try and contain Jane Appel.
Arizona State with only 2 points in their last 7 minutes. Tremendous defense by the Huskies.
Yeah, especially, Arizona State. They've done a terrific job all season long. You look at the conference stats, they're up there taking care of the basketball and shooting the ball from long range. But if you don't get any open looks, it's tough to knock down shots. And that's what Washington has done a great job chasing them off the three-point line, making them have to become playmakers, break you down off the dribble. That's not the strength of the Arizona State Sun Devils.
If you're the coach of ASU, what do you want to see in the final 8 minutes of this first half?
Well, I want to see about 20 points on the scoreboard, but with the way Washington has played defense, you've got to search and seek out the right combinations.
Well, they've also missed their last 5 foul shots. Pondexter low. Matthew Bryan Ammoning missed the jam, and a foul will be called, I believe, on Eric Boateng. Yes, it will.
I think that may have been the ghost of Eric Boateng. I don't know how much contact there was inside. Looked like the rim blocked that shot. That was like a self-check. One rule of thumb: if you're going to dunk the ball, you got to jump high enough to get it over the rim. Just a rule of thumb.
I'm just going back to 75 when you played. You would have banked that in. You'd have taken that little Marcus Johnson bank shot off the glass.
In 75 when there was no dunk, I would have. But in 77 when I had 63 dunks that season, I'm throwing that baby down.
I thought it was 62.
No. You missed one. Don't blink. A nice job by Matthew Bryan Ammoning at the free throw line. But how can Arizona State generate some points? And Jamel McMillan has got to be aggressive. Trent Lockett has been the guy, but they've done a nice job. Justin Holiday just shadowing Ty Abbott. Good wall by the Huskies inside to cut off the penetration.
Abbott. His first wide open look, and he nails the 3. Arizona State within 17.
The ball screens for Arizona State going to be very important in loosening up some of the Huskies' defensive pressure. floater.
He's been good at that, but also Justin Holiday's been great on the offensive glass the last month. Lockett fouled.
Very close to a travel by Trent Lockett, but you know, you're so used to Quincy Pondexter crashing the offensive glass. Sometimes you forget about Justin Holiday and doing the proper job blocking him out. But that's one thing that Herb Sendek, his coaching staff, worked extensively on, and all their defensive drills. They finished it with Scott Parra, you know, pretending to take a jump shot, Coach Scott Parra, and then everybody else had to block out aggressively, because sometimes in that matchup zone, finding blockout responsibilities is not easy.
Because they're going up against the top rebounding team in the conference in Washington, +5. They average 39 boards per game. And because of that zone, Arizona State's down there. They're like 7th, 8th in the Pac-10 this year in rebounding.
Well, the Huskies, as you mentioned, that's one of their big strengths. So offensive rebounding, they will send 3, 4, sometimes all 5 guys will crash your offensive glass. And that really puts pressure on your basketball team. You say, well, if you get the rebound, you can just go the other way. Well, get the rebound. It's hard to get the rebound, the defensive rebound.
ASU a better rebounding team last year, but they had Jeff Pendergraft, who's now with the Portland Trail Blazers, and James Harden now with Oklahoma City.
A lot of athleticism lost, those two guys.
Isaiah Thomas misses. It goes out of bounds to the Huskies. And a lot of people talking about the parity in the Pac-10 this year, but when you lose 21 players to the NBA over a period of years, more than any other conference, it will hurt. And this is a very young conference this year. 32 of the 50 starters, main starters, are freshmen and sophomores.
And not only losing players to the NBA, which means they're good players, but these guys are producing at a terrific level in the NBA.
Quincy Pondexter's second field goal.
Talking about the Kevin Loves and the Tyus Gibsons. Yet another turnover from the pressure of the Washington Huskies.
And a lost look on the Sun Devils right now.
Yeah, yep. We've seen this for quite some time. Just kind of stuck on 11 points at this point. Quincy Pondexter so active in the middle of that zone.
Bad pass by Overton. Glasser to Abbott. There's Holiday. What else can he do?
Holiday's got a jumper if they want to give it to him.
They do. He misses. Glasser picks it off.
But you know, if you're Arizona State, that's the one guy that you want to prove that he can knock down that shot consistently before you give him the defensive attention that he would deserve.
Derrick has it stripped. Isaiah Thomas to Quincy Pondexter. A foul, and Quincy goes down hard.
Quincy wants the intentional, but I thought it was just a good, aggressive play defensively on the part of Boateng and Ty Abbott. And Quincy was a little hesitant, didn't know whether to put himself in a prone position. Right there, just kind of hesitates just a bit as he tries to look for the defensive player. Unfortunately for him, he comes up uninjured. A good hard basketball on the part of Arizona State.
Pondexter 2 of 5 from the floor, 4 points with 4 rebounds. He came in averaging 20.7.
We saw the game Sean Miller, Arizona, put in his freshmen, Solomon Hill, Brendan Lavender, Momo Jones. They did a nice job. They got a 6-point lead, as a matter of fact, 37-31 going in at halftime. And Herb said they're going to try and a similar thing with this combination on the floor now, especially Demetrius Walker, number 40, the freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's going to make something happen. Now, whether it's good or bad remains to be seen, but trust me, he's an aggressive offensive player.
He is a Washington-type player. Jamel McMillan now at the point. Kuksic's back in. Holiday almost had another steal.
Every pass contested, every driving lane thwarted.
Demetrius Walker.
He's doing something. I'm telling you,
he's doing something.
He's that kind of a player. Did a great job. We saw him earlier against UCLA.
He and Victor Rudd helped bring them back in that UCLA game when they were down by 15.
Wind up losing on a good play by Jeremy Anderson, blocking the three-point attempt by Jaron Shipp. Oh, there's Quincy Pondexter has improved the range, improved the form on his jump shot. He's always going to give you the hustle on defense, but things are really coming together for Coupon at the offensive end of the floor.
He started slowly. Now he leads the game in scoring. This is points 7, 8, and 9.
That release is just so much smoother. It looks so much better than it has the prior 3 years. There were times last year when his dad, Roscoe Pondexter, would take him to the auxiliary gym after struggling shooting nights and make him shoot for an hour after games last season.
See, young people, listen to your parents. We're not as stupid as you think we are. Jamel McMillan with the basketball.
Victor Rudd, we talked about the freshmen, and the one thing about them, they have no fear. They haven't been here before.
Pondexter. Count it! Oh, baby, what a shot by Quincy Pondexter.
How did he even find the angle on the backcourt? One bounce, long 1-2 stride, gets the contact, and then still has the presence of mind, the ability to slow down just enough to kiss it softly high off the glass. That was not a lucky shot. I know lucky shots and I know skill. That was a skill offensive play by Quincy Pondexter.
That was a perfect kiss off the glass.
Yep. And again, that's just hours of work during the offseason.
No points his first 11 minutes, Marcus. 12 points in the last 4:45.
Well, you called it, Steve. They didn't need him to score. The first 11 minutes, I mean, the way Washington was playing defensively, the turnovers they were generating, they were getting out in transition. So just a great job by Quincy to allow the game to kind of come to him. That's what we mean when we say that.
A 24-point lead against a team that beat them by 17. Demetrius Walker.
He's an exciting player. He's got tremendous athleticism. Oh, that's a foul. That's I don't understand why that's not a foul. They got Eric Boateng in the air. Didn't really shift his body underneath him. But Quincy Pondexter really coming alive here at the latter part of the second half. Little contact, little kiss. It's all good. Coupons are good at Heck Ed tonight.
Washington with a 38-17 lead over Arizona State. They're trying to make it just as strong in football like they used to be. There's the new coach, Steve Sarkisian. He led them to a 5-win season this year. And his quarterback, Jake Locker, said he's coming back for his senior year.
What an athlete, Jake Locker. Drafted in baseball. Arm like a cannon. Fast, big, strong.
And that will allow them to perhaps redshirt Nick Montana, who's coming in, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation, and Joe Montana's son.
Okay.
Nice move by Kuksix, and he spins inside to make it a 19-point deficit.
And that just catches you totally by surprise because you're so used to Kuksix kind of spot up, knocking down long shots. That time, nice dribble move, spin off of contact. Huskies cannot relax. This Arizona State team, they're a very well-coached basketball team. They're going to keep at you. Uh-oh.
They called it a palming violation, a double dribble by Benoit Overton, so that's a turnover against the Huskies. You know, two guys I think have really lifted Washington's game. Scott Suggs and Justin Holiday. 1 month ago, you go, are they going to contribute that much? Now they're main contributors.
Yeah, Justin Holiday in particular defensively, but we talked about that third scorer. Nice flare screen, trying to get Demetrius Walker some decent looks, and I tell you, he is making stuff happen.
Fans back in Tempe saying they got to play that guy some more. Arizona State on a 7-0 run. Isaiah Thomas will try and end that. In and out with the 3. Look at the battle for the rebound between Ryan Emmening and also Eric Boateng. Our Pac-10 halftime show coming up. And then we've got first half highlights and stats from the first half of this game. We told you that Cal already beat UCLA 72-58, so the Bears have taken the lead in the Pac-10. In that game, Christopher Robertson and Randall, the 3 seniors, combined for 54 points. Walker to Rudd. Here's Demetrius.
He's pulling it, Steve. Almost knocked that one down.
He did. And Scott Suggs grabs his miss.
Didn't play a minute against Washington State, but again, just a bad communication, timing on the part of Isaiah Thomas and Nelson Turner. But Demetrius Walker, again, done a nice job. Going to come out the game for Ty Abbott, but he's giving them just what they needed, just a little bit of an offensive infusion at this stage of the game.
I think he had 5 touches, 4 shots.
No, that's him. I mean, he's going to make something happen. You don't know if it's going to be good, going to be bad, going to be indifferent, but something's happening out on the floor when he comes out, when he comes in.
Down low, Boateng. And Eric still has not been able to drop a shot.
Having trouble with the strength of the Husky bigs.
Suggs misses the 3. Good block by Boateng. Brian Ammoning.
A spot of tea for the 2 Brits.
Hook 6 and a fine feed from Jamel McMillan.
Hook 6 finding ways to score on the interior.
They've cut it to 15. Another block, this time Kuksix and Boateng combined. McMillan's trying to take his man, he backs out. Kuksix in and out.
Yeah,
ooh, that would have really called a timeout.
Yeah,
Renzo.
I thought that was going to drop because Kuksix has really done a nice job of finding and hunting out interior buckets.
Renzo Romar is hot.
Here's Washington with their defense, and this is when they've been at their best against this matchup zone defense. If you get out in transition, you can't set up the matchup zone, and then the offensive rebound has been terrific. The ball movement's got Suggs finding the open area on the right corner.
They're playing very well, even though they're only shooting 40%, but they limited Arizona State to just 8 for 23, and that is 14 fewer shots as well.
Yeah.
Because they're hitting the glass, they're controlling the boards.
And they're doing a much better job of moving the ball around. The Huskies are, if you take a look at what they've done in their wins, 15 assists in their 5 losses in Pac-10 play. That number goes down to 9 assists tonight, already 8 assists. So good ball movement on the Huskies' part.
Suggs defended by Boateng. Now he drops back. Isaiah Thomas rattles it in.
For him to be a big-time offensive player, Isaiah Thomas has got to perfect that 15 to 25, 22, 23-foot jump shot. Get out to the three-point line and be able to knock it down consistently. He's already got the penetration level down.
They go to low to Boateng. That's his first field goal. He was determined to get that down. He cuts the lead to 15 as Isaiah Thomas brings it up the court.
Well, that time he was a lot stronger. He got to get the first bump, and he didn't give ground. He actually gained ground and knocked Brian Ammoning back a foot or 2 to get better spacing on his shot.
Thomas feeling it. He has double figures with 10. Pondexter has 11. Huskies by 17. With a little help defense. Now he has to go to the other side, and Boateng just throws it up, and he walked for the second time trying to post up on a Husky.
Well, he's got to go to a counter move. I mean, he's trying to get to the middle of the floor each and every time. That time, Brian Ammoning just overplayed into the middle. Boateng has got to be able to spin back, and he can do that, spin back, but use that left hand, which he doesn't have the complete confidence in at this stage.
That spin move got you to the NBA All-Star game 5 times.
All right, let's not go there. To telling stories with Lorenzo Romar the other day.
Oh, Scott Suggs will bring it. I'll change the subject for you. Here's Isaiah Thomas across the timeline. It's going to be a 5-second count unless he touches it. He finally does, and then throws it up and misses the shot. Tapped around to Suggs, throws it back up. But a marvelous first half by the Washington Huskies. Arizona State came in tied for first place, but they trailed by 17. That's the end of the first half of the score. Huskies 42, Sun Devils 25. After the break, we will take you to our Pac-10 College Hoops halftime show. Here in Seattle, Washington, the hometown Huskies have a 42-25 lead over the Arizona State Sun Devils, who came in tied for first place today with 3 other teams. Demetrius Walker off the bench with 8. Kuksic's off the bench with 6. But where are the starters? Very little from the Arizona State starters. Meantime, Pondexter and Isaiah Thomas averaged 38. They gave him 21 in the first half. And there's the starters. The Sun Devils tonight just 11 on 3 of 13 from the floor.
Nasty. That's bad. And Demetrius Walker, that young man right there sitting next to his coach, he did a tremendous job out of Fontana, California. Moved to Phoenix for his senior year. He's the only guy that showed a pulse. He and Kuksic offensively for the Sun Devils.
Well, you expect it in home games because look at the tale of the 2 teams. Washington at home is 15-1. On the road, they've yet to win a game, and next week they go first to Cal, and that could be a battle for first place because right now the Bears in first after beating UCLA today at Pauley Pavilion. Washington comes right out, and they've got Brashears in the floor with Gaddy, Thomas, Holiday, and Pondexter. Arizona State going with Boateng, Lockett, Abbott, McMillan, and Glasser. And that was the 3rd foul called on Tyrese Brashears. I think he gets a foul in the first 30 seconds of every game, of every half.
Big physical player. You know, he's a redshirt freshman out of Los Angeles Price Academy, and that time the decision on trying to come up with a gambling steal after a rebound is secured, not the best decision in the world, but he's a young player and he's kind of learning on the job.
Washington will play the man defense. Arizona State will play their matchup zone, and it looked like Gaddy was shoving McMillan. He did, and that's a personal foul.
Well, McMillan, I mean, he missed 4 games with the plantar fasciitis injury of the foot, and you know, he's back, he's playing, but he's not completely healthy. That's not going to happen until he can get some extended rest.
Abbott turned down, Glasser out top. If Arizona State's going to come back in this ball game, Marcus, they're going to have to hit some threes, and they're the best 3-shooting team in the conference, averaging 8 per game, and they've got the best percentage at almost 39.
But the Huskies just doing a great job guarding that 3-point line. Nice move, Boateng. Nice job stepping through Tyrese Brashears.
Cuts it to 15. Gaddy to Thomas, who had a nice first half, and he gets his man in the air and then banks it in.
He's got the mid-range jumper working for him tonight, and then as good as he is penetrating, getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line, when that's happening for him, he is so difficult to defend, Isaiah Thomas. Sometimes that mid-range game isn't always working like it's working this evening. But this has been their offensive staple, pretty much consistently going down to Boateng down on the block.
But Boateng just 2 for 6 in the game, and they keep going to him. Meantime, Gaddy off the right side goes to Pondexter in the corner. Holiday misses. Abbott with the rebound. Trying to set a double for Jamel McMillan. He's more of a set shooter. Whips it to Boateng, who's bumped by Brashears, and that will be personal foul number 4 on Tyrese, so he's going to have to come out. Or they're calling it on Gaddy? They're calling it on Abdul Gaddy, which will be his 3rd. They're still going to get Matthew Bryan Ammoning in the game. I think they had already made the decision because they thought the foul was on Brashears.
But the Boateng at that time, you know, he got the bump. He should have followed through with his shooting motion. He had thought about it initially. After he got hit, then decided to be a passer.
The steal. Justin Holiday with his 2nd steal, and is blocked by Boateng, but a personal on Eric.
Yeah, I like the hustle, like the aggressive posture by Eric Boateng. You're not going to get this crowd into a frenzy with a left-handed move by Justin Holiday. Good defense, Abdul Gaddy to poke it free, and Holiday's going in trying to dunk the basketball, but Boateng does a nice job of running him down.
Justin Holiday at the free throw line. 6'6" junior from Chatsworth, California, Campbell Hall High School. He won the last 4 title. And his brother, Giroux, who is now in the NBA, played 1 year at UCLA.
You know, when you have to defend your brother, Drew Holiday, who was a first-round draft pick of the Philadelphia 76ers every day of your life, Once you guys start playing basketball with each other, you can't help but become a pretty good defensive player.
Lockett goes for the save. It's picked off. This is Isaiah Thomas laying it up and in. He's got his team's last 8 points.
But Justin Holiday in a crowd saw through his peripheral vision Isaiah Thomas streaking down the floor and slapped the ball ahead. Another great presence of mind play by Justin Holiday. He probably won't get an assist for that play, but he's responsible for that easy layup by Isaiah Thomas.
There have been no easy looks for Arizona State. There's been no rhythm, no flow, but it's because of Washington's intense pressure.
And the ball in the middle of the floor, Justin Holiday right there over Ty Abbott, just pokes it ahead. Isaiah Thomas keeps running, is the recipient of a very heads-up offensive play by Justin Holiday.
And Gaddy must come out with his 4th foul. Assistant coach Jim Shaw still talking with Abdul as he picks up 2 quick fouls, and now it's 4 and must sit down. So Thomas will move to the point, or they may have Benoit Overton run the point.
And that's the luxury of having a third guard like a Benoit Overton on your bench. You actually get better defensively and you get more speed offensively in your lineup.
Trent Lockett, no. Thomas. Beautiful pass inside.
Allowing the play to develop. Isaiah Thomas did not do that the other night against Arizona. As a result, he was benched to start the second half in favor of Gaddy and Benoit Overton, but this time completely looked off the defensive player. Found Matthew Bryant hammering on the inside. He finished it off nicely.
Crowd going crazy. They're Huskies trying to win the Pac-10 Conference again. And Ty Abbott with the 3 in the corner. Thomas ahead to Holiday. Yes!
So your man buries a deep corner 3. Defense transitionally sleeping for Arizona State. Justin Holiday makes them pay by streaking down the middle of the floor. No, Abbott's going to make it happen now.
He's had 2 good looks, and those are 2 rare good looks because of the defensive presence of Washington.
Yeah, and those are deep jumpers that, as a defensive player for Washington, you don't expect him to pull that far out.
Oh, they're sharing the basketball as well.
Well, when Arizona State in the matchup zone, a lot of times weak side defensively, you're going to get overmatched. You're going to get a Matthew Bryant hammering against the Trent Lockett, against the Ty Abbott, against the Jamel McMillan. One of the disadvantages of the matchup zone at times, if you're patient, some of that aggressive patience that Lorenzo Romar talked about.
Boateng slugs it up and in, and he'll go to the line for a chance for a 3-point play. Time out on the floor, all Washington in Seattle, and Heckhead is loving it. Pac-10 Hoops, presented by Oberto Beef Jerky. Fan loving it because the Huskies have a 53-35 lead, and the fact that California won today, so they have the conference edge for now. Oregon lost to Oregon State, Stanford lost at USC, and Washington State knocked off Arizona 78-60. So here's a look at the standings. Cal alone at top, but Arizona State could tie them. And 3 games separate first and last place. Closest first to last in college basketball this year.
Yeah, and again, a good solid weekend. Arizona loses 2 this weekend to Washington State. They've got the Oregon schools at home next week. You win a couple of games down there. Arizona State, the same thing. You hold serve on your home floor. You're right back in the mix.
And Washington has to go on the road to Cal and Stanford. Remember, they have not won on the road this year. They are 0-6.
They want to have a chance to win the regular season Pac-10 championship. They're going to have to win, I think, at least 2 games on the road at some point.
Coming back in the ball game, Ruslan Pativ, the 7-foot freshman from Moscow, and Boateng will take a seat after finishing that 3-point play. ASU still stays in that zone, so Washington can use the clock, even though there's 15-19 left. To be patient. Matthew Bryan Ammoning, he has been a horse on the board that misses that, but they're 12-1 offensive rebounds over ASU tonight. McMillan misses. Petit taps it in.
Ruslan Petit, a good offensive execution by Washington. Didn't make the shot Quincy Pondexter, but they got the matchup they wanted. Pondexter, Petit. Now Isaiah Thomas a little out of control. Got to slow it down, execute your offense.
Ship gets his own rebound and then has it blocked out of bounds. It'll still be ASU basketball, but the Sun Devils closing to within 15 points. Kuksix, good three-shooter, has it knocked away as Holiday now takes him.
Again, a rhythm breaker. Kuksix wanted to rip through, go by Holiday for a pull-up jump shot. Holiday gets a hand on the ball. Now he's got the reset, restart. It just breaks the offensive rhythm for Arizona State.
Kuksix still has not made a three tonight. And that ball goes out of bounds, and a whistle and a foul will be called against Arizona State. Will go against Petit, his first. Well, not only has there been a wild Pac-10 conference this year, but a lot of upsets today in college basketball. Number 2 Villanova in that snowstorm knocked out by number 7 Georgetown, but also losing Texas, lost to Oklahoma. So number 9 falls. Number 12 Brigham Young lost to UNLV. Number 20 Baylor lost to Texas A&M. It ain't easy. Most of those on the road. Here is Quincy Pondexter down low. Benoit Overton scores.
Once again, the reliable right hand, but good ball movement, making the extra pass. Quincy Pondexter.
A foul away from the basketball. Looked like it might have been an illegal screen set by Arizona State's Eric Boateng.
That was a little flap screen and rescreen out top. Boateng arms, elbows high, got a piece of Benoit Overton. It's a little too aggressive.
Third foul on Eric.
Arizona State's got Suggs as the guy you got to maintain contact with out on the perimeter. They didn't do a good job of that in the first half. He made them pay for it.
Overton to Thomas. Thomas is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 3 shots as Abbott clipped him and spun him around. Third foul on Abbott.
Nice ball movement. Ty Abbott on the closeout, and Isaiah Thomas with the whirl be free move. Kind of kicks the right leg out to draw the contact against the body of Abbott.
Nice night. 14, 5, and 4.
A terrific night, especially the 4. The 4 assists for
He
Isaiah
did not
Thomas.
move the ball well on Thursday.
And he found himself on the bench at the start of the second half when the Huskies were looking at a 6-point deficit. They came out, got 4 assists within the first 2 or 3 minutes of that second half with him on the bench, so he got the message.
They've defended the 3 very, very well. Their pressure defense has been outstanding. They have been patient yet aggressive. That's something that Lorenzo Romar talked about. But because Washington is an average shooting team at 45% and 9th in three-point shooting, they've got to get the offensive rebounds and force turnovers. They've done that tonight, and they are punishing the Sun Devils.
And he's got to find a way to bottle this intensity and heads-up play and take it out on the road. Which is such a night and day difference between home and away with this basketball team. The stats bear it out, the energy level bears it out, and the record bears it out.
Kuksix got it.
Can't find the range from the three-point line, but he did an outstanding job making off the dribble moves. Rehart Kuksix.
With the left hand, Matthew Bryan Ammoning. Turnover ASU. Washington gets it back, leading by 19.
It's going to happen when you are trying to play at a faster pace than you are accustomed to playing. Arizona State trying to push it up the floor. Jaron Shipp in the open court trying to make a play off the dribble. Just a little bit out of his comfort zone.
Victor Rudd comes back in, going out. Kuksix.
That's why Washington is able to force 17 turnovers a game.
Vinoy got hit, no foul called, and it goes out of bounds. It'll still be ASU basketball.
Angel Romar telling Vinoy Overton to settle down a bit, but he probably would have had a better chance putting that in the right hand. Everything in the right hand has gone down for him.
Yeah, he just plays with a Warrior's heart. The other day picked up his 3rd foul, and 30 seconds later picked up his 4th because he didn't back off at all.
Yep, and then knocked down 6 crucial free throws the last 50 seconds to seal the deal against Arizona.
Next week, it's going to be crazy. We're past the halfway mark. And I know we were talking about Washington going to California. That's going to be a heck of a game. And they should pack the house in Berkeley, California next week.
But the Bears just methodically sliced and diced the Bruins. It looked like the Bruins came out with the energy. They came out playing at a high level. They jumped out to an early lead. And Cal just stayed the course like the tortoise in the hare. You know, they just stayed the course, and got terrific performances from Patrick Christopher, Theo Robertson, Jorge Gutierrez played terrific defense, kind of rounding back into shape.
And they can shoot the threes.
Jerome Randall, a couple of deep threes that you just shake your head at because he's so far out on the floor. Arizona State's got to string together some stops, and that's that tough matchup in the matchup zone. You get Brian Omening with Jaron Chip on his back down in the post, and if you're not going to double team and allow him to take 2 or 3 dribbles, he's going to get the shot he wants every single time.
It's the best game in a while for Matthew. He's got a 10-8 showing already in limited minutes. Boateng with the jump hook, no. That's his 9th rebound. He's looking at a double-double. Gets one more of those. Matthew Ammoning comes up with a loose ball and throws it in somehow. Look what I found.
You know, we talked about that play by Quincy Pondexter not being lucky. That was a little bit of horseshoe in your tennis shoe, horseshoe buried in your sock kind of a shot by Matthew Brian Ammoning. But you've got to be alert in order for that to happen. Now you got the 2 young freshmen, Victor Rudd, Demetrius Walker. Walker, nice first half, 8 points.
Boateng knocks it down, 63-43.
It's that counter move instead of trying to just force your way middle, spin off a contact, get back to the baseline. And he's going to his right hand, which is different than the first half when he had to finish with his left.
This is like the first half when they didn't need Pondexter. He didn't score until the last 6 minutes of the game and then scored 11. Here's Matthew Ammoning, and he is missing that shot. He's feeling it, though. I think he's in one of those zones that he hasn't been in a while.
Scott Stuck doing a nice job shadowing Demetrius Walker, the freshman who had some impact, and Walker draws a foul on him. But Scott Stuck's good defensive concentration on Walker.
Matthew Brian Ammoning, the junior from London, England, coming overseas and playing so well, somehow gets that one to fall. Last year, Matthew Brian Ammoning backed up John Brockman. Now he's getting those minutes, and he is contributing.
Yeah, and backing up Tariq Brashears this season, but it is kind of a two-headed monster in terms of their low post play. But the coaching staff feels like if they can get close to a double-double combined between the 2 players, then they've had a successful night, and these Husky bigs are giving it to them tonight. Nice job, nice footwork, nice step through, but that's that mismatch that you can get if you're patient. That aggressive patience Lorenzo Romar talked about against this matchup zone, you can get a favorable matchup. And Matthew Brian Ammoning, he's about to get that double-double all by his lonesome, huh?
One more rebound is all he needs. Meantime, Demetrius Walker at the foul line for Arizona State, 6'2" freshman from Los Angeles, California, but then transferred for his senior year to Phoenix St. Mary's, and they won the state championship.
He was thought to be the next coming of LeBron James, the best 13, 14-year-old in the country. His mother, Keisha, nickname was Hella Hops at high school at Crenshaw High School in the mid-'80s. Got a job as a correctional officer in the Phoenix area, moved him up there, and he made the transition rather seamlessly. Demetrius Walker.
Boy, is that the kiss of death to be compared to the next LeBron James.
Yeah, and to be Kristen, you know, the best 13-year-old in America. job working on defense, really trying to grasp the system of Herb Sendek.
Elston Turner missing the three. Holiday taps it back out. They've got a new shot clock, so Overton will back it out, and the crowd appreciates the move.
That's a shooter's delight. The shot clock winding down, you catching it wide open about 30 feet.
The Shears will wind up at the free throw line.
Now you're 6'7", 255 pounds. You catch it inside. You got the, you're wide as a house. But he's trying to show the flair of a Dr. J with the double pump move going to the right side. Boy, he's got to just take that thing up strong on the left side and then get the potential and one play. Use your size.
Misses the first foul shot. This is a team, Washington, that scored only 51 points in 40 minutes in Tempe, and they've already scored 63 in 30 minutes in Seattle. Brashears makes 1 of 2 as Boateng picked up his 4th personal foul, and he's staying in the ball game because Herb Sendek saying, if not now, when? I mean, they're trailing by 19 points.
And pretty much doing it without a contribution from Quincy Pondexter. That's good help. That's good help by Vinoy Overton. Forces the steal against Eric Boateng on the inside.
Suggs had the shot. Instead, took an easier route and lays it up and in. McMillan is knocked down, and a foul is called.
A nice deliberate control by Scott Suggs. Little shot fake, gets the angle on Boateng. Now once you get by Boateng, there's really not another shot blocker in there that's going to challenge you at the rim, and Suggs takes advantage of it.
Petit, Abbott, and Glasser will come in for ASU at the next buzzer. Jamel McMillan, who came in playing so well, averaging over 8 points per game, has not scored tonight.
O'Day High School here in Seattle, won a state championship, got to the state finals every year he was in high school. The winningest player in Seattle high school basketball history. Maybe pressing just a bit to try and do some things in front of the home crowd. That and the foot injury, I'm sure, is still slowing him down just a little bit also.
Yeah, he missed 4 games with plantar fasciitis, and here's Overton taking it up and in and scoring. And the Huskies just look like a totally different team at home than they do on the road. And even Lorenzo Romar can't figure it out.
And the crowd has a lot to do with it. The energy level that the crowd provides for this team. Very, it's some emotional guys on this team between Vinoy Overton and Isaiah Thomas. Even the big Dominique displays that emotion. Quincy Pondexter has had his struggles away from home.
A 7-0 Washington run. Their lead is back to 24. Abbott denied by Holiday, gets a good pick, and then comes back and blocks the shot. A great save by Overton as well.
That's some of that great body control, open court push-it ability of Demetrius Walker.
What must he do to get more minutes?
But just understand probably what's happening in the matchup zone defense. I mean, it takes you about a year to really get this matchup down, and in a year of consistent playing time, which he hasn't gotten.
Still Washington basketball. Justin Holiday, they tried to set a screen on him. He came around it and still was able to get the block on Ty Abbott that led to a Washington basket. Huskies just playing great. Washington with a huge 69-47 lead over Arizona State. They came in with 2 stars, Quincy Pondexter and Isaiah Thomas.
Quincy Pondexter was a very productive first half. He's kind of late in the cut here in the second half, but when he was called upon, he's been aggressive, taking the ball to the basket, getting out transition, making difficult shots in the crowd. And then Isaiah Thomas has shown his strength when he gets into the paint, just to be able to bounce defenders off of him as he takes Jamel McMillan to the rack. And you know you're a good passer when you can throw a no-look and not even look at the guy and make the shot. You throw the no-look and you run back down the court before the basket is completed. That's how sweet that pass was.
Well, they combined for 27 points. They combined for 38 as a duo this year. Quincy just under 21 and Isaiah just over 17 per game. But Thomas was the Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. And his coach, Lorenzo Romar, said the sky is the limit for this very creative young man who's only 5 feet 8 inches tall, but very strong and can really leap. Good pass inside of Shears, who fumbles it.
Isaiah Thomas, it's like your expectation level is just higher. I mean, he was benched in the second half of the last game out, but you look at his numbers, he's still averaging 17 points a game, rebounds the ball effectively for a guy his size, gets to the free throw line more than any player 6 feet or under in the country.
Abbott misses the three, and then young Lockett fumbles it out of bounds. So ASU another turnover. They have fumbled the football or the basketball 15 times tonight, and they said that was number one, taking care of the ball, and that's led to 15 Washington points so far. The other key was rebounding, and they're minus 14 in that area.
I don't know if Trent Lockett has taken a dip in Lake Minnetonka, but it's been purple rain all over the Sun Devils tonight.
Look at the attempts by Washington. 62 over 42. Offensive rebounds and turnovers.
Yep. Glasser has just been null and void in this game.
Derek Glasser has only taken one shot, still has not scored in the game. Tyrese Brashear has just picked up his 4th personal foul.
And again, one of the few bright spots for Arizona State has been the play of Demetrius Walker. Did not play a minute the last game against Washington State.
And he has 12 tonight on 4 or 5 from the floor and has been very active on the glass and defensively. The Shears coming out. Matthew Bryan Ammoning back in, looking for that double-double.
Herb Sendek, the coach of Arizona State, has set a high bar for this freshman in terms of practice habits, grasping the intricacies of the defense.
Glasser's first points of the night.
Herb Sendek invoked the laws of physics, walking this team through the proper foot position defensively at their practice yesterday. When in doubt, against this matchup zone defense, dribble penetration will always bail you out. And in Isaiah Thomas, the Huskies have a guy who's fearless attacking the rim. Everything breaks down, bogs down. You put it in his hands and allow him to make a play.
As Lorenzo was saying the other day, to attack that, you have to have a high post, you have to have a low post, you have to have a dribble penetration, and then you said, oh, you mean like the Lakers?
Yeah, you have to have Kareem, you got to have Magic, you got to have Worthy. Then you sit.
Well, they've done it without that trio, and they lead by 19.
They've gotten that. They've got Matthew Bryan Ammoning on the low post, productive night. They've got Isaiah Thomas, Benoit Overton, great job penetrating, and then they've got a Quincy Pondexter who you've got to honor at that high post, and you've got an added plus 2 terrific wing shooters in Scott Suggs and Elston Turner to kind of stretch that thing out.
Another offensive rebound. Suggs missing. Holiday, another rebound. One more offensive board. Washington absolutely killing Arizona State on that offensive glass.
Just out scrapping, out hustling, getting on the floor, getting down and dirty, and coming up with second, third shots and limiting the possessions of Arizona State in the process.
17 offensive rebounds by Washington, only 6 by Arizona State.
That was a major point of emphasis in the practice of Arizona State yesterday. Again, they worked diligently on blocking out within the confines of this matchup zone defense, but hasn't been effective this evening.
Pondexter rattles it home. That's the strength he's added the last couple of years.
Strength and body control versus the strength to kind of bull his way through the big guy. Khatib inside, and the body control just out-hang him in the air until he comes down and then releases the shot at the top of his jump.
Walker misses. Little ragged style of late. Washington will take that as they lead by 22 points. Huskies trying to win their 16th game of the year, and here's Trent Lockett deep outside, missing terribly. Well, when the season began, Marcus, as you see Pondexter throw it down, the forecaster said Cal would win the conference and Washington would be number 2. And if they win this ball game like it looks like will, well, starting the second half, that's pretty much the way it looks.
Yeah, and they pegged UCLA to be 3 in that mix. Arizona State kind of a surprise team. The way they have played, especially 5-4 at the midway point. There's Isaiah Thomas, another one of those no-look numbers where he just kind of turns and runs back down court. I'm not even gonna look at that. I know it's a dime. It's a dime at Quincy Pondexter.
So Pondexter now with 15 points. His buddy Isaiah Thomas with 17. They've combined for 32 tonight. Arizona State will stay in their zone defense with Glasser and Walker out top, but sneaking around is Isaiah Thomas and picking up a foul from Arizona State. It looked like Walker will get the call.
Now, you have to wonder, why is Lorenzo Romar leaving Pondexter in the game? You're up 24, and Thomas for that matter, but a lot of it has to do with allowing a guy to get his numbers. Quincy Pondexter averaging 20 points a game this season. He's at 15 right now. If he can get a couple more baskets, get closer to that season average, and you look to pull him out.
A lot of people were talking about Thursday's game with Nick Wise, the leading candidate for Player of the Year, and Pondexter the other. He's had a great first 24 games.
Now he's got to take some of this exceptional play that he's shown here at home and produce something on the road. He's had the 2 subpar games, USC, Arizona State.
Thomas with the nice pass inside to Quincy Pondexter. It's tough to win on the road. On January 8th, Arizona State smothered the Huskies, winning by 17. They out-rebounded that by 10. Complete reversal of fortune tonight.
We talked about the insertion of Justin Holiday into the starting lineup for Washington, giving just a terrific defensive presence. Doesn't quit on the play right there. Comes right in, Tyabb blocks that shot. So now on this list of guys who he has put on lockdown, the fireman who's doused out the flames of the great offensive stars of other teams. You can add Tyabb to that list, coming in averaging 19 points a game over his last 8 games. Just 10 points here tonight against the University of Washington.
He did not play in that Arizona series because of eligibility issues, but when he came back, he has played rock solid, lights out. He's been starting, and Kuksix had 27 because Holiday wasn't around. Then they go to Arizona. Jamel Horn scores 22 because Holiday wasn't around, and Horn only scored 2 when Holiday covered him on Thursday.
What's going to be interesting is to see what he can do against Landry Fields of Stanford their next time out. He can give them the same kind of effort and production defensively and keeping Fields down below his 22-point per game average. It gives the Huskies a chance to maybe get their first road win of the Pac-10 season.
Hey, I'm excited about Thursday. Thursday is Cal and Washington. Down low off of Rudd and out of bounds. And he closed out Theo Robertson last time Cal was here in Seattle, and Holiday had to defend him.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I forgot about Cal.
Yeah, you're supposed to broadcast it just one at a time.
Yeah, Cal on Thursday. I was reading the schedule wrong. I apologize. Cal up first. And so maybe Theo Robertson, who he was matched up again. We're talking about Justin Holiday here at Heck Ed the last time those two teams met when Washington blew out the Bears. Theo Robertson is a guy that, you know, he's been putting up some serious numbers between he and Patrick Christopher.
Randall, Christopher, and Robertson combined for 54 in their win over UCLA this afternoon.
That's what happens when I don't have my reading glasses on.
It's all about vanity, isn't
Hey,
it?
man, you know. you hit 50, you throw vanity out the window.
You got that right.
But a nice round of applause for Justin Holiday. Again, Joe Ford at the Pasadena Boys and Girls Club when he was about 9-10 years old, really instilled that passion for playing defense. And Justin Holiday, he gives him all the credit in the world for him becoming the defensive player that he's become.
Turner, good defense all over Kuksix, who still has not hit a three. Gaddy floating it to Darnell Gann, who has it punched away. A roadie. This is Clarence Trent. And he is fouled with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in this basketball game. Arizona State's biggest loss under Herb Sendek, 33 points, and it was 2 years ago by the UCLA Bruins. The worst loss this year was by the Arizona Wildcats, 77-58, back on January 23rd.
When you expect the unexpected has been my mantra for the Pac-10 so far this season. I never would have thought that Arizona State would come in as deliberate as the style as they play and would have this kind of a struggle here in Seattle against the University of Washington. Now, the Huskies, granted, have played great against Stanford. Cal blew them out both. Arizona put up a little bit of a fight down the stretch on Thursday night. This is a surprise.
It was never a game. I mean, it was 2-0 Arizona State, and then it was 16-2.
Right. And they look up and they're down with about 26 or whatever at one point in the first half.
The last month of the season is going to be fantastic because everybody's kind of boxing everybody out. So get your tickets now for the regular season and certainly for that Pac-10 tournament because it's wide open. Renzo Romar's team won it last year. They need to win on the road, and they haven't done that this year. They're 0-6 away from Seattle, and they're scoring 20 points fewer, 20 on the road than they do at home. (77-51). Washington leading, nearing the 2-minute mark. Demetrius Walker. Hey, what this guy off balance goes in. It's kind of like fake to the open man and shoot, but he makes it.
He's looking like LeBron out here. He's just pulling his way to the basket, knocking down three-point shots.
Washington will push the record to 16-7 overall and 6-5 in conference play.
Here comes your boy.
It's Brendan Scher time. He's the human victory cigar. The Scher's in the game, the Huskies win. Elston Turner for 2. Listen to the crowd. It's time to share and share alike. Got 2 field goals this year.
Former member of the Dog Pound cheering section to walk on, made the team during a tryout for the Washington Huskies. Now he is on the floor against Arizona State. National TV. Got 11.
Jaron Shep makes that 3-point basket. Brendan Scher played for the 2A state champions, so he's been around success. And that's what Romar wants in his program. They're looking for him. Caddy says, Brendan, get open. Don't set screens.
Romar just wants his team to just dribble out the clock now. Don't rub it in. Be respectful to your opponents, but a great job by the Huskies here to sweep the Arizona Schools at home, maintain contact with first place Cal, just a game behind. The Dogs ain't dead yet.
Arizona State hit by a buzzsaw in the Pacific Northwest. Washington now 16-1 at home. Their only loss was to Oregon, and Lorenzo Romar very proud of the way his Huskies fought this weekend against the Arizona Schools. We'll come back to wrap it up after this.